Act like you know. Disclaimer, this will not be a long sermon, so if you're going to get on the amen bandwagon, you got to jump on early. Encourage your neighbor, say, neighbor, act like you know. By the time of our text, Israel has endured some dark and difficult days. Times for them have been hard, and out of their distress, they have begun to engage in defamation. They have been giving God a bad rap. They are speaking about God as if God may need a refresher course on how to be God, because as far as they are concerned, he apparently has forgotten. Consequently, we find the prophet Isaiah attempting to talk some sense back into the people of Israel. Isaiah channels his inner Johnny Cochran and begins his defense of God with a line of questioning. Listen to verse 28 again. He says, "Has thou not known? Has thou not heard?" In other words, Isaiah is saying, so y'all don't know who God is now? I mean, the way y'all are carrying on, you would think you never even heard of God. Ultimately, Isaiah was saying, Israel, y'all know better than that. Unless we look at Israel with judgy eyes, if we are honest, there are times when some of the things that we allow to proceed from our own mouths would make one question if we really know God. Every time we speak from a place of frustration and utter fearful and faithless proclamations, I can imagine that we remind God of the disciples who were panicking in the storm when Jesus had to ask, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Notice that both Jesus's and Isaiah's lines of questioning imply the same sentiment. The sentiment is that regardless of the type storm or trouble one is facing, when one really knows who God is and when one has seen him work, it should be reflected in both one's comportment and commentary. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are arguably the poster children for such an idea. Listen, they are facing the threat of death by fire if they do not bow to Nebuchadnezzar's statue. But notice their comportment. They are cool, calm, and collected. But what really blesses me is their commentary. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. See, the Hebrew boys' commentary should serve as a reminder that even in uncertain situations, the believer can rest always in the certainty of God's faithfulness and God's ability. Did you hear what I said? I said it should serve as a reminder that even in uncertain situations, the believer can rest always in the certainty of God's faithfulness and God's ability. Isaiah says, "Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard? Ask your neighbor, didn't you know God was able? Didn't you know God could make a way? Didn't you know God could bring you out? Didn't you know God could turn it around? Didn't you know God could pick you up? Didn't you know that God can place you where you need to be? Didn't you know that God can heal sickness? Didn't you know that God can provide money, jobs, and increase? Did not you know? If you knew, well, why are you saying certain things? Why are you doing certain things that don't reflect that you know who God is and what God can do? When you really know who God is, you ought to be able to say, you can't make me doubt him because I know too much about him. Sometimes you got to remind yourself of what you know about him so you can stop saying certain things that make you look like you never knew God. Isaiah said, "Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard?" The Lord, New Living Translation, says the Lord is the everlasting God. Y'all, somebody missed a shout. He's the everlasting. That implies several things. First of all, it implies that he always was. He always was suggests that he's been there, done that. That suggests that when you encounter your issue, it doesn't alarm God because he's already worked out stuff like that before. It may be new to you, but this is not his first rodeo. He's been delivering people. He's been providing money to broke people. He's been healing sick people. It may be new to you, but it's not new to God. Tell somebody, God has been around. And the same God that did it before, if you trust him, he can do it. Means that he's been here, but it also means that he is here. Y'all don't know when to shout. I said not only has he been here, but he is here. There are some people who have been here, but we buried them. There are some people who have been here, but they're retired. There are some people who have been here, but they quit a long time ago. I said, not only has God been here, but he is here. The Bible says he's a very present help in the time of trouble. I don't know where you may find yourself right now, but can you encourage somebody? Tell them he's still here. He is here. He's here right now. He's right there in the midst with you. He's not leaving you hanging. He has not abandoned you. He has not left you alone. Tell somebody he's here right now. He's the everlasting God. Not only has he been here, not only is he here, but somebody ought to be encouraged that he will be there. What scripture do I have on it? He said that I will never leave you nor forsake you. I will always be with you. I go with you even to the end. Some people will start with you, but you'll look around and they're nowhere to be found. He says, I'm a go all the wayer. I'm the kind of person, I'm a ride or die. I'm a go with you. Wherever you go, I'm walking with you. And when you don't see my footsteps, it ain't because I left. That's when I carried you. He's the everlasting everlasting God, the creator of all the earth. Okay, y'all ain't happy. See, when I'm the creator, that gives me control. See, anybody know people in entertainment, what they fight for is creative control. Because when I have creative control, that means I can decide how it turns out. Oh my God, if y'all would have got that, we could have had church and been halfway home. The fact that God is the creator of everything means he's in control of everything, which means he can decide how everything turns out. He doesn't have to ask for permission. He doesn't have to solicit a request or a grant, because he's in control. He made it. He created it. He's in control. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what you're dealing with. God created it, which means he has dominion over it. He's in control of it. And as long as he's in control, I know that things will work out for. Are y'all here? Still in verse 28, King James says, he fainteth not, neither is he weary. God ain't tired. God is not wearing out. See, the fact it's connected to his everlasting nature. Because he has to always be here, he can't afford to get tired. So he doesn't. He's as good and powerful as he was at the time of creation as he is now. And if you were to live another 1,000 years, his power will be just as potent, because he never gets tired. We get tired. We struggle. We need a break. We need a vacation. We need a reprieve. But I thank God, like the old church used to say, that his line is never busy. He's always available. He's never on vacation. He never gives you an automatic response. Thank you for calling, but I'll be back in 2 weeks. But no, every time you call him, he's available, because he's always on the job. He don't need a break. He don't need lunch. He don't need that afternoon break. He don't need the morning break. He don't need a sabbatical, because he never wears out. He never gets tired. And the crazy thing is, he's been dealing with your mess, my stuff, your drama, your situation, and yet he's still as strong and powerful as he's always been. You ought to thank God that you have a God who will never grow tired. Says there's no searching of his understanding. The New Living Translation says no one can measure the depths of his understanding. See, I know your problem. The reason you're frustrated, you're trying to understand God. See, you mess around and drive your own self crazy trying to understand God. See, there's no searching of his understanding. You don't know, because his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. You would have done it this way, but he's God, so he did it that way. There's no, sir, you're going to run yourself crazy trying to understand God. So because you can't understand him, you just got to learn to trust him. Is there anybody ever been in that place that, Lord, I don't know what you doing, but I trust you. I don't know why you let this happen, but I trust you. I don't know why you didn't get them and you got them, but I trust you. I don't know why and how you gonna work this thing out, but in the meantime, I have no other choice but to trust you. There's no searching. I was understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them who have no might, he increases strength. Y'all shouting like y'all ain't never got tired. That you know the only reason you here is because when you were at your breaking point, God gave you a second wind. When you had already said, I can't take another, I can't take nothing else. If one more thing happens, now y'all gonna tell the truth and shame the devil in a minute. Some of y'all said, one more, they say one more thing. That last time was the last time. If they do one more thing, if one more thing happens, when life had become heavy for you and you were tired of bearing your burdens in the heat of the day, when things had gotten so messed up that you didn't even know if you wanted to be a Christian no more. You didn't even know if coming to church was worth it anymore. You didn't even know if that whole reading the Bible and faith thing was even something to it. God said, it was at that point where I came in and said, I can't let you go out like that. I'm about to renew your strength, because I'm not about to let you give up. I'm not about to let you go out like that. I put too much in you. I brought you through too much, and this is not the time for giving up, but this is the time for holding on. Is there anybody here that's glad that you kept holding on even when you didn't know how you were going to make it, and when you couldn't hold on to him, he kept holding on to you, and you're still here today because he did not let you faint. He did not let you fall. No wonder the writer said, now unto him who is able to keep you from falling, to keep you from failing, to keep you from fainting. He kept me so I wouldn't let go. I'm almost done. I got 2 more verses. Verse 30 says, even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. Y'all ain't get happy about that. In essence, God is saying, when you trust me, I'll let you go through hell and look better than some young people. He said, when you trust me, I'll let you go through the storm and the rain, and young people that's broke down and looking busted, he'll let you come up striding like a fox. Tell your neighbor, ain't you glad you don't look like what you've been through? The reason you can't tell my age is because the grace of God keep covering me. The reason you can't tell how much I've been through is because every time I've been through trouble, he's been with me in my trouble, and he did me like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And when I came out, I didn't even have the stench of smoke on me, but I came out with my swag, looking like a... Tell somebody, you look quite good for what you've been through. You look quite good for what you've been through. You think I'm lying? Go to your class reunion. Hey, did you really graduate? Were you not my teacher? Were you the vice principal at the time? Say, I'm going to keep you strong. Looking good. Looking like you got the power of God running through you. Verse 31, I'm going to beg your pardon. I want to read this from the New Living Translation. The King James says, but they that wait upon the Lord. That's good, but I think it may misrepresent a truer meaning. Because waiting on the Lord is not like when you call Domino's and you're sitting there for 30 minutes waiting. Not that type of waiting. I'm waiting. No, not that. Not that. But listen to it in the New Living Translation. I like this. It says, but those who, catch this, trust in the Lord will find new strength. Yeah, oh my God. Listen. When the strength that I have to get through what I've got to get through, the source of that strength is my trust in the Lord. My trust in the Lord is connected to the Lord's reputation. So when I know God and I know his reputation, I can chill. I can be like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. My comportment can be cool, calm, and collected because his reputation suggests that I can trust him. And when I trust him, even when I would have given up, I don't have to give up. I can keep on trusting. And when I thought I was going to lose it, I'm still standing. I'm still holding on. I'm still here because I learned to trust. No, I like that old song they used to sing back in the church of my childhood. It says, learning to lean on Jesus. I'm finding more power than I ever dreamed. Why? Because I'm learning to lean. Listen, and don't miss that. You got to learn to lean on God. You got to learn to trust God. You don't come out the womb trusting God. You don't come out the womb saying, oh, everything gonna be all right. No, but when you go through something and when you know it was God that brought you through what you thought you couldn't go through, every time you go through one thing, it gives you more on the resume. It gives you more credentials to say that I know the Lord will make a way because he already made a way. I learned to trust him. I wasn't always where I am today. I learned to trust him. 10 years ago, I might have given up. 20 years ago, I might have thrown in the towel, but he brought me through too much already, and I learned to trust in God. Tell somebody, if you don't want to lose it, you better learn to trust him. If you don't want to faint, you better learn to trust him. If you don't want to be a giver-upper, you better learn to trust him. If you don't want to drop out, you better learn to trust him. I'm out of here. Goes on to say, soar high on wings like eagles. Tell somebody I'm on my way up. You said it like I told you to. You didn't say it like you believed it. This time only if you believe it. Look at somebody, tell them I'm on my way up. I'm on my way up. You better catch me while you can because pretty soon I'm about to take off. I can't stay where I am because God has a higher level. God has a next dimension. God has a new vista and arena that he wants to take me. Is there anybody here feel like you about to take off any second, any moment, any day? Tell somebody I'm about to take off. He said they will soar high with wings like eagles. Now, I like the eagle. I like the eagle because the eagle is an interesting creature in that the eagle does not run from storms. The eagle runs into the eye of the storm, because it is in the eye of the storm that he gets the wind under his wings to elevate at the level that God intended him to fly. That went over your head. Okay, see, the reason you ought to not curse every storm in your life is because God has a way of letting the storm serve as the wind under your wings to elevate you to a place that he's designed for you that you could never arrive at without the wind of the storm. Matter of fact, the next storm comes in your life, you ought to just do this. Because when you do this, you're saying, Lord, I know what this is. It may be hard, it may get rough, it may get tough, but this is your way of elevating me. This is your way of raising me up. And if it takes this storm to get me to where you intended, I welcome the storm. I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to complain, but I'm going to stretch out my wings and let you be the wind beneath my wing and take me to only heights that the storm can tell your neighbor, don't run from your storm, but embrace it, because every storm is God's opportunity to elevate you to another level of glory, another level of grace, another level of prosperity, another level of favor. Is there anybody here that could use another level? Anybody here that could say, Lord, I'm ready for a new level. Lord, I'm ready for you to lift me up where I belong. Lord, I'm ready. I thank you for every storm. I thank you for the wind blowing, because that's when I learned to trust you. Is there anybody here that can say, I'm going to act like I know, because I haven't forgotten what he's done for me. I'm going to act like I know, because I have not forgotten every storm he brought me through. I'm going to act like I know, because if memory serves me correctly, this ain't the first time I've been in trouble. If memory serves me correctly, this is not the first time where I needed a miracle. But is there anybody here that can thank God that the same God, the everlasting God, he fainteth not, he still hath power? Can you encourage a neighbor and tell him, neighbor, God still hath power? That was the wrong neighbor. Find one more neighbor and tell him, neighbor, act like you know God still hath power. He hath power to heal. He hath power to deliver. He hath power to turn it around. He hath power to lift you up. He hath power. Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Won't he do it? Won't he lift you? Won't he give you new strength? Won't he keep you from giving up? Won't he keep you from losing hope? He kept me. He kept me. He kept me. He keeps on giving me strength. He keeps on giving me power. That's why I made it, because God, he's able. Ain't he able? Ain't he able? Say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody say, act like you know. Act like you know. There are some things I may not know. There are some places I may not go. But I'm sure of this one thing. God, He's real. God, He's real. He's real. I can feel Him all over me. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone standing all over the building, if you will.